Columbia Pictures takes you beyond the future to a universe you've never seen before in heavy metal. Heavy Metal, rated R.
Now playing at the Cinerama Dome Hollywood and the Cinedome.
The blackest eyes, the devil's eyes.
You will suffer an eternity for this.
And I'm waiting for the intro to end. David StreamYard, what are you doing to us over here? Nothing's working right.
I'm trying to retweet us, and it's going like, well, maybe I'll load, maybe I won't.
Send now or send in like an hour?
Yeah, do you want me to load the post now? Okay, boss.
Hey, load the Corvette from the beginning of this movie, honestly, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, that's a good sign that it starts out pretty.
Yeah, so that's right, everybody. I'm going back to the early 80s. I think it's, 81, Kevin, for heavy
80.
metal?
Yep, 81.
And it looks very much like that kind of era, but fun-ass movie. What's your first memory with this? Or did you see this as a kid? Where are you at with this one?
Gosh, no, I don't think I saw this until maybe 97 when it hit VHS. And it took me a little while, but I rented it from Bob's, the video store that I used to love going to.
Okay.
And oh man, it was after that, it was on my weekend rotation, like weekly rotation to rent, like that, The Wall. Shit, I had a few others. Rocky Horror.
Oh yeah, that was definitely a time. I want to say The Warriors.
I have yet to see that movie.
I got that. I got a fun little box out of that. For this movie, for heavy metal specifically, I have the Blu-ray from Australia. So it comes with a really cool slipcase. Might actually what's that thing? Riveting podcasting, everybody.
Hooray!
That's around here somewhere. I'll look for it in a minute when we're talking about something else really quick. But my first memory is about the same time as you. I was in college, want to say 97, 98 when it came out on VHS. And that's when I first saw it because I'd always heard of this movie. Mm-hmm. And like, hey, it's kind of one of a more mature, like animated movie for adults. And it's wild. It's a music video of sorts. I'm like, I got to check this thing out. So what did I do? I went down to the Sun Coast because that's what we had.
Yeah.
And I went in there and I just straight bought it because our video rental stores in the area did not have it in stock for weeks at a crack. I couldn't figure out why. So I'm like, I got to see this movie.
Because assholes like me.
Probably that would keep it and never return it, or you would and you just rent it right away again.
Accruing late fees. Yeah.
Oh God, accruing late fees. I don't miss that. There was one that never got returned and I never went back to that store anyway. So that one of those movies is still in my collection down over here, actually.
Fantastic. They're going to have a warrant out for you pretty soon.
The statute of limitations, brother. You're talking 1997. Oh, no, 94. 94. Hey, Mike out there. I remember buying I know what you wrote. Remember buying Heavy Metal magazine from a head shop back in the late 70s. I was still in high school and I asked the guy at the counter if I was old enough to buy it. He said, sure, why not? Cool dude. Yeah, when I was in junior high and high school, there were some quote unquote cool people that will let you buy things, so to speak. Especially at Tower Records and Suncoast.
Oh, well, those pictures, yes. We had the Crumb comics. Those were, yeah.
Yeah.
Not animated, but still fun.
No, yeah, but you know, my memory was like, what the hell kind of movie is this? This thing is completely like off the charts. It's crazy. It's an anthology of sorts, but it's not like anthologies that I was terribly familiar with because it was in a movie format and it felt like we went through like about like 12 different stories. And we'll get to the good, the bad, and the judgment soon. Hey, like, share, subscribe out there, everybody. Greatly appreciate it. And if you got memories or you got comments about this movie, throw them in our chat. We'll read them at times and include those in our review here tonight. But it's a wild movie.
I remember, to your point of it, not knowing what to expect, just being completely floored. Like I said, like I had not,
and you're like, huh?
yeah, I didn't. And I watched this with my friend Joe, and I was like, oh, felt a little awkward, like this was like the most adult thing I'd ever seen. And all of a sudden the cartoons start fucking, and I'm like, whoa, 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 what are we watching? Oh, shit.
Oh my God. Yeah, it gets crazy, like not too terribly quick, but once it starts going down that path, it's like, whoa.
Yeah, and then, you know, it gets to the point where you don't notice it much because it's happening so often.
That's very true. Oh my God. It almost becomes like part of the enjoyment of the movie.
Sort of. Like it's the scenes with Din, the barbarian, like they have no concern that they're naked and stuff running around. Like it doesn't bother anybody.
No.
This magazine was way ahead of its time. I think I wished I would have collected older copies of it. I wished I would have collected it when Kevin Eastman bought it. But alas, I never did. But god damn, did this movie grab me in high school. And it's funny because there are two movies that were in that rotation that I rented and rented and rented. This and A Clockwork Orange. And I owned them on VHS, but I never owned them on DVD or Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Like this, I just never got around to it, and then you can't find it no more. And then A Clockwork Orange, I just don't want no one to look at me strange. Like, why do you get so much enjoyment out of that? It's fucking cool. Shut up! I don't need your judgment.
This is the Australian Blu-ray. I'm like, I got a chance. I'm gonna go check that out.
So you heard none of what I just said. Thank you, because I was not going to retain any of that.
Hey, you are welcome. Special section for the chat out there, and special shout out to Nadia out there. Thank you very much for the 5 gifted memberships.
Thank you.
Very much appreciated. Great to have you along with us. And we're gonna get that schedule over to you. We're talking to Horror with Nads about coming on with us at some point in the future.
Very groovy.
Really cool lady. Very good with horror movies. So
my favorite kind of people.
Hells yeah.
Someone posted something like, you know, we're 25 years into the new millennium or the new century. What's the best movie of the century so far? And I click on the comments to see what some of the answers were. And the first one,
literally the last 100 years, or
for this 100 years, for this century far, what do you think is going to be the best movie of the century so far? And, you know, some people could have said Endgame or Infinity War, Dark Knight, whatever. But no, someone, God bless him, said Psycho Gorman. And I was like, yes!
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I was not expecting you to tell me that one.
Yeah, made me super excited. Wasn't Willie's, but I forgive them. I still love some Psycho Gorman.
Yeah, I still need to get around to watching that. It's in my stack. It's one of the next 5 I am actually going to be watching. And I know it's in part of our intro, and I made our intro.
Sure, Jan.
Shut up, bitch. I know. I got a stack of a variety of movies I need to get to watching, and one of those is actually rewatching the sequel to this one.
See, I never saw the sequel.
Oh yeah, the sequel is. I've seen bits and pieces, and it didn't quite feel the same. Probably because they didn't have the same sensibilities they had when they made this one.
Yeah, and Kevin Eastman tried to have less sensibilities, and it just didn't work out, from what I understand.
Yeah. Heavy
So-
Metal Fact 2.
And I never wanted to be disappointed by it. I loved the first one so much that I just, you know what? That's a good standalone. I don't need a sequel to it.
Yeah.
Kind of the way that you feel with the Never-Ending Story sequels, or lack thereof.
Wait, there are sequels?
No.
Hmm.
Look, there's John Cena.
Woo! Can't see me! Hey, he'll follow everybody on Twitter. So if you want to get a follow from a celebrity like John Cena, that it can happen.
Yeah, but I love Cena. I don't give a shit. But this was, I think, one of the reasons why I had such great friends in high school,
Yeah.
but I didn't have very many friends in high school. Like, this was one of my tests of like, okay, how cool are you? Is this going to weird you out to where you're going to
True.
like not want to hang out, or you're going to be bored with it? You're not going to get it. Or are you going to fucking be totally intrigued by this and we're going to be best friends for the rest of our lives? And that's kind of what this
Yeah.
movie is. Like, you will find your people, your tribe with this movie, like your type of weirdness, your type of music, your favorite actors. Like, this movie kind of has all that. And it's a fun share.
Dude, you got John Candy going off the handle in this freaking movie in like 2 different voice roles.
More than that, shit.
I counted 2 that I distinctly heard his voice. Doesn't mean he wasn't in more, but 2 that I'm like, wow, hearing John Candy talk like that to somebody. Like, hey, baby, let's get married. I'm like, dude, you're a sex robot. How does that work? Okay, fine.
But she wants a Jewish wedding.
Yep. L'chaim.
Jesus, this
Or
was
Mazel
just
tov, yeah.
L'chaim. It was this movie was just so original and so crazy, and I couldn't look away. And this, I think, was the first time I've watched it from start to finish since the 90s.
I would say
So
the same for me too. I think the last time I tried to watch this is probably when I got the Blu-ray here, and I think I only made it about halfway through. And
yeah.
it was, I don't know why. I was either distracted or something. I don't think I fell asleep during it.
You know, there was a time throughout the 90s where I was like big into musicals and Broadway and stuff like that. I loved it. And this was one of those things. And so was Rocky Horror, Phantom of the Opera was, Jekyll and Hyde. The actual like Broadway productions, I can't really stand to sit and listen to anymore. It's not that I dislike them. It's not there for me.
Right.
This was totally there for me. Rocky Horror Show was always there for me. I watch Rocky Horror Show at least 3 or 4 times a year. Little Shop of Horrors, always there for me.
I'd always watch that one. Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is like a high up for me, for considering it was like a 1970s, early 80s style animation.
Oh, very, yeah.
Yeah. Because, I mean, what were its contemporaries? Raggedy Ann and Andy? Puff the Magic Dragon?
Oh, God.
Like,
Animation from this era on this level?
The Hobbit?
Wow. Maybe.
So, I mean, no, I don't think anyone had ever seen anything like this outside of like Fritz the Cat.
I was thinking, like, I know there was other mature animated movies back then.
Mhm.
They not all of them really like worked for people, and some of them were a bit too raunchy or too naughty, too adult. This one kind of teeters on it without going full the way over. It's an R-rated movie that, if this came out in the 90s with like compared up against, say, like Eon Flux, things like that, holy shit, I think this movie actually would have been a little bit wilder even. And I'm not even talking like the sequel. I'm talking about the original, this one. I still think it would have been a hit, but and it might have taken a little bit better with that audience in the 90s. But I love how 80s this is. It feels like you're watching like a time capsule.
Yeah, it really does. Like, the fun thing about this movie is it is very right in the middle there, 70s and 80s action. Action and horror, rather.
Yeah.
You get glimpses of Conan in this picture and Red Sonja.
Yep.
You get post elements of, like, say, The Incredible Melting Man, or any of the Wes Craven pictures, where you have those God, gross looking Tom Savini moments. Like, this
Oh, the
movie,
mutants and whatnot.
yeah, like, this movie has that. The beginning, where the dad opens up the Lochnar and it just melts him. Like, that was just so goddamn cool.
Hey, I think we're already into it. Let's keep on with the good, Kevin.
All right, man, you got it. So let's see here. The good, you started with it. I'd say the cast. This is
Oh God,
the
yes.
coolest cast for almost any 80s movie. Like, I'm sure
I would
there's
say
better,
so.
but anytime you get Harold Ramis together in any movie, there's the people that are with him are always special. And in this case, you've got John Candy and Eugene Levy.
And Ivan Reitman as a producer on this.
True. And holy cow, like, there's just so much cocaine influence in this picture.
I could smell it through the screen at times. Like, how the hell they come up with that idea? And who alone animated that crap? Like, holy cow.
You know, to your point, and since you mentioned it with animation, we should apologize for slightly deceiving people. This is not an anime movie. Not really.
Oh, no, it is not. This is American animated movie.
Yeah, and it feels like it. Like, after the last 3 weeks, there's nothing. I can't say there's nothing pretty about this movie. It is very pretty.
Oh, there's some aesthetics that are stunning and great visuals.
Yes, like, if you liked what you saw with the layered animation for Secret of Nim, you are fucking gonna love this movie, because it's got that and boobies and rock and roll and cocaine.
Yeah. It's almost like this is what birthed MTV, so to speak.
Kinda like this was just everything that a rock fan could love.
Yeah.
This was a Dungeons and Dragons nerd's wet dream.
Yeah, baby. Towels right over there too.
2 towels. Bang, bang.
You're a two-towel man with this movie. Gotcha. What about you, Mike? What about you, Josh Perry, out there? How many towels did it take for this movie with you two? But the cast is fantastic. Just listening for the voices and trying to recognize them. Most of the time you can kind of pinpoint them. They are younger, so their voices are still similar enough to pick them out. But when you actually watch the credits, you end up being like, oh, I didn't realize that was him. Younger sounding voice, different inflections. They're able to increase their range a little bit. So it's very nicely put together, and they give everybody such unique roles that you lose track. Like, oh yeah, I know John Candy was in more than like 2 segments, but there's 2 that he stood out in. And just about everybody has a couple they stand out in this movie.
Yeah, everyone's doing their major characters, plus they have a couple little additional voices that they lend to. Like,
Exactly.
John was also one of the cops in the police station at the beginning.
See, that's what I did not peg.
Yeah. He was I think he was the guy telling him how much it was to file a report.
Jeez.
And he's like, yeah, whatever, man. But yeah, like,
polka.
You cannot turn your nose at this cast. They are all legendary. And the one I did not ever realize, never ever put it together until this last watch, was Eugene Levy.
I couldn't figure it out. I'm gonna have to watch the movie again because I wrote some of the character names he played. I'm like, I don't know. I couldn't hear it.
Well, I watched this happily, very happily, in my trailer bedroom by myself with the window open, which I never open my windows. Like, I am such a fucking hermit and I hate the sunlight. But I had it flooding into the room.
Yeah.
in the afternoon, so it was sunset, and I had my Sony Pulse earbuds in and
Okay.
listening to this while watching it, and stoned as fuck. And it was marvelous. I hadn't seen it in so long, and it was so beautiful. And again, I don't get completely messed up, or I don't feel completely messed up, but it just really made that music feel nice. And you really hit that fucking Blue Oyster Cult. And it just, it hit just like it did when better than when I was a kid, because I'm a drug addict now. But, like, oh yeah, now
I
I
am
get
not
it.
saving you from that one.
But Eugene Levy, even now listening to it, I don't hear him. While I was watching it, though, sitting in my seat and just relaxing in the sun, I was just thumbing through IMDb, looking at the voices, and I'm like,
Right.
no. And then it occurred to me that these two guys behind me is Eugene Levy and Harold Ramis.
Son of a. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And then, yeah. And Harold Ramis has my favorite line in the whole goddamn movie. And that's where Eugene asks him, "Are you okay to land this thing?" He's like, "Yeah, man. You know, the thing about being or driving stoned is your hand, your perspective's all fucked up already.
Yeah.
You just got to let your hands drive like they're not."
It's like the best landing sequence, too.
He hits the fucking wall
On the way in, and then they kind of just drop and hit the ground and skid along the bottom, and they just not touch the back wall. They completely crash like two barricades or landing areas in there. It's freaking hilarious.
You just gotta let your hands drive like they're not.
Immediately, I'm like, if they could have cast Cheech and Chong in this movie, these would have been the two guys to do it with.
Yes. Well, the first time I watched this when I was a kid, I thought it was them for a moment. And then I was like, oh no, that must, really must be them.
Yeah.
Or like they're making an homage, I mean.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of homages in this to like Mad Max, to Star Wars, to a ton of movie references. Like you could analyze this movie for hours to pick apart like, oh hey, that's Red Sonja. Oh hey, that's definitely Mad Max. Oh hey, this is what RoboCop's going to use in 7 years for an acid wash on skeletons. Nice.
Oh, God damn that sequence.
That was so rad, dude. Oh,
Dan O'Bannon's a fucking genius. I know we say that all the time, but he is.
that's a good man.
Yeah, like some of the scariest shit you could think of, some of the most nightmare-inducing stories. Like this is every bit as creepy as Alien is. The scene where the guys,
Life Force, Space Vampires, Invaders from Mars, Chud, Return of the Living Dead. Like dude is all over the place. He even helped with like Total Recall, if I remember right.
Oh no shit, nice.
I think he did. I might have to look that up.
I don't know. I am a big fan of his work, and we've had the pleasure of watching some of it on the show so far. And every time we do, it's just a joy. And my only lament about this picture is that he didn't write more of it.
He did. He was a partial writer on Total Recall, the Arnold one.
Nice.
That's rad.
I wish I could have met him. I bet he would have been cool.
Yeah, that was what, 2008?
I think.
Somewhere around there he passed away.
Yeah, it sounds about right. Or it sounds familiar.
Oh, that's right. He worked with John Carpenter on Dark Star. His student movie.
The video game
was his first movie.
Oh, that one. Sorry, I was thinking of Dark Angel. That's no.
Yeah. But Dan O'Bannon, good man.
So, but yeah, that sequence on the B-17 bomber is so different from the rest of the movie, save the intro. because it takes place on Earth, and it feels so much more organic. Like, yes, the Lochnar does come into play, but it's scary before the Lochnar even comes in. Like, the guy is all alone in this plane, trying to survey the damage and see what's left of the crew, and there is nothing left of his crew. All of his comrades are dead.
All zombied and too.
Yeah, and he gets all the way to the fucking tail end.
Yep.
Before the Lochnar turns them into zombies, and he's got to come all the way back.
That was probably one of my favorite sequences in the movie, honestly.
Yeah, and I wanted to have one of the skeletons be one of the logo up there, and it just didn't work out that way. Like, the dimensions weren't going to work out. I was like, oh, sadness, because I loved how gross looking they were.
Yeah, don't you have to keep it to like 200 or something for the 200 by 200?
Yes, but what it was is I wanted the hand was coming around, like it was coming around from the side of the door, so it looked like this basically. And what I would have had to done was put 0-Point Reviews heavy metal right here, like he was holding on to that. But if I would have done that, I would have had to cut his head out in order to get the title in the shot. I was like, well, that's just suckage all the way around.
I almost wonder if we need to start looking at overlays instead.
Oh, I don't know. This was just for the teaser. Oh, for up there, you mean?
Yeah, like if you ever want to do something a little more fun, you could probably do an overlay, but I've not yet messed with those too much other than just making an image to throw over us so we can highlight something.
That's true. I didn't think about that. Considering
like if I do like this, we're still on screen.
Cracula?
Yeah, that was from Lois and Clark Superman.
Nice. And Rodzilla.
Terry Hatcher. Yep. Little peek behind the scenes, everybody. But
the things we collect on this show.
Yeah, I probably need to clean up our clips too while we're at it. But no, I did not make any clips for this because I was just enjoying watching the movie too much. So that's a good thing about this movie is you end up just sitting back, relaxing, and having a good time with it. There's something in this for literally everybody.
Yeah. Like there's
nothing cutesy though, but
nothing cutesy, no real happy endings per se. Oh, Den.
Yeah. Is that what her name was? The blonde here or Silver?
No, Den was the bald John Candy character.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He gets the girl, and I want to say the little girl that grows up by the end.
Yeah.
She kind of gets a happy. No, I don't know if you'd call that a happy ending. She survives.
Yeah, she survives. She defeated Lochnar.
Yeah, I don't necessarily know how, but she did. She resisted his bullshit.
Yep. She basically looked right through it. Saw right through it. That's the line I was looking for.
Yeah. The taxi driver got one hell of a tip. Yeah.
Dude, that's where I think they got the idea for the Fifth Element. That's where I think Luc Besson got the idea for Fifth Element.
That would make a whole heck of a lot of sense because
I kept screaming Fifth Element while I was watching that particular segment. I'm like, this is almost too funny.
I'd wished that there would have been that, step on the button and fry somebody behind you gimmick in Fifth Element. That would have been fantastic.
I know, because the taxi in this was just a complete badass machine. And you wouldn't think it because it's just some fucking taxi. But Jesus Christ, he was escaping. He was shooting bitches with guns coming out of the back. It was like watching the Batmobile wrecking shop.
Kinda. It just happened to be ready for service.
Yeah.
It had guns and a meter.
And it also had a driver who had guns and a meter too.
Sounds like some of my ex-girlfriends.
Yep. Yeah. So was Lochnar. A little bit like some ex-girlfriends too.
Now did any of these stories grab you when you were younger? And then did you feel the same way as you did as an adult? Or is it just like, that's okay, but now I'm looking at this segment now, and that's a little bit more interesting to me.
I don't know. Like it's a little blurry from like back then, but what always stuck out with me the most the first few times I watched this movie was basically the last segment with the I wrote it down, Tarakian.
Yeah,
This is what I remember the most. That and like the taxi segment. And then watching it this time, I was enjoying the opening segment with the Corvette coming down. I think the animation was outstanding with that. The astronauts coming home, and it basically launches the whole movie. And I think it sets a nice tone like, what the hell am I watching here? And also the other things I was enjoying a lot more this time were easily a lot of the space situations, like the outer space, the ship designs, the colors. Like I was getting a whole lot of like visual acuity thinking, wow, this is actually really pretty and really good for 1981 animation. Like this is beautiful space stuff.
yes. Yeah, they put a lot of effort into making this look just, I don't want to say trippy, but like it will break your imagination in a way. Like they want you to like really realize that this is another dimension, another world, another set of planets, and it's just, it looks terrific.
Yeah, like at times the animation's a bit rough, but when they do like environmental stuff, it's fantastic.
Mike's got another one of my favorite lines in this. Down there at the bottom, stern. I loved that scene. Hand over fist, the guy that was supposed to be paid off to basically exonerate the pirate, for lack of a better term, testify on his behalf. And then because he's got the Lochnar, he turns into Mr. Hyde instead until he gets paid.
Oh, yeah. That was great. Oh man, that reminded me of like Zap from Futurama.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Crumb comic. I was like, yeah, you know.
Oh, I didn't read this shit back then, brother.
My bad.
I just like the reverse Hulk thing. I'm hulking up, I'm getting bigger, and I'm getting meaner. And then later, hey, here's your money. Thank you for doing that, brother. You got me out of the trial, no problem. That was one that popped me. I didn't remember that segment like at all, period. Because it was only like about 5 minutes long.
Well, I didn't remember that being as long as it was. I wasn't, there was so much of this that I did remember. And then moments again that like I didn't. I remembered the John Candy segment, with the first one where he's the bald barbarian. And I remembered the cokeheads. So I guess both John Candy segments really stuck out to me more than anything. But that segment there with the hand over fist and the stern, man, that was a segment that kind of had nothing to do with anything else, but was
pretty much
damn entertaining.
Yep.
Like it worked as a music video. The song was so damn perfect.
Oh God, yeah.
I think it was Cheap Trick. I don't remember, but
I think so. I think I had the listing around here somewhere. Yeah, Cheap Trick.
Yeah.
And to my point earlier about the space stuff, this is one of those images. I just did a quick search for some screen grabs for heavy metal. Like this stuff is like a porn to me. It's like space porn. It's like this is beautiful and sexy. Like this is, but you see this emotion too, and it looks even better. And on a Blu-ray, like this is a fantastic trans for everybody. And you can get the Blu-rays and DVDs from Amazon. It's out there. So if you want a 4K, you can go get one. I think the Blu-ray alone looks utterly fantastic.
And they have dual packs of Heavy Metal and Heavy Metal 2000. So, I mean, if you
Yes.
haven't seen it and you want to own it, you can easily get the 2 just to own them.
Yeah. We are on an Amazon affiliate thing, but we don't put links down there because nobody really uses them anyway.
But we have them because we're shills. Yeah.
Damn it. Now you're going to make me go back through and do them all over again.
You're welcome.
God. Now, what about you, though? You asked me that same question. Like, what worked for you many years ago and what worked for you now?
For me, it was, to your point, the intro, like that animation really caught me at the beginning there, where the car tilts and starts to go on fire. I don't know why you don't see animation like that very much anymore, and you didn't see it a whole lot then. But it was so pretty that it's just hard not to want to watch it a second time, like rewind it and watch it again. And then again, it's a music video, so why the hell not do it?
Well, you're right.
And then, of course, like I'd mentioned, the skeletons up in the airplane.
God, yeah.
Even though there's no music to that part of the movie, there's no real affiliation to the rest of the movie at all, story-wise. Man, it was just so creepy and so fun that it was like almost like a little intermission.
Yeah.
With a palate cleanser for the rest of the sci-fi. It was horror in the middle of a sci-fi movie. And that was just, golly, that was nice for me.
Awesome.
But I didn't get into the end as much as I used to like it. Like I used to really love that ending segment like you were talking about. Watching her put the clothes on, yeah, that sounds dirtier than what I mean it to be, but like it was a really pretty segment. It's the most beautiful of the drawn segments in this movie.
Yeah. And that's a pretty, you watch them fighting and it's like, man, the animation needs a little more help with some of the fighting things there at the end, but they did good for what they had. I mean, it's a slow fight and there's not much energy there. Just trying to find the right words to kind of explain it without sounding insulting. It wasn't that great of a fight.
It was a sword fight.
It was a cheesy 80s sword fight.
Yep.
It was fine.
With a motorized blade arm.
That was cool. I like that.
So
I had not even seen Evil Dead by that point. So, well, I'd seen Army of Darkness.
Peter Pan.
But, yeah.
Oh, that's true.
But that was a chainsaw. You don't think like an actual little angle grinder hand is going to really work like that, but it does.
It certainly fucked up her day. Like,
and
I
tried to kill her bird too.
Oh God, the bird. That was way more annoying than I ever remember it being.
Yeah, the noise is coming from that damn thing. I'm like, okay, that's kind of stupid.
It's not an animal. It's a human being making the sound of an animal. And an alien animal. And what it reminds me of is it reminds me of my friend Danny doing his impersonations of people with Tourette syndrome.
Oh, Tourette's.
Like the things cooing like ooh, ooh, and all I could hear is Danny going, ooh. And I'm like, oh no.
Gee, and what I think is like the movie Dumb and Dumber. You want to hear the most annoying sound ever made?
Ah!
That's what I thought when I was hearing it. I'm like, shut that fucking thing up.
I almost called Danny to have him fucking do that. Like, can I get you a recording to go whoop the way you used to when we were kids?
Dude, that would have been freaking funny. There'd be a new clip for our Saturday streams.
Oh, shit. And people are watching or listening and are like, please stop doing that. I don't want to turn my speakers down again.
One more time, Kevin.
Whoop!
That's my man.
Sorry. I take requests.
Hey, you got to be hoarse for somebody out there. Super chat for $5 if you want me to do it again. No more freebies.
Yep.
I saw that head felt like I'll do one more for free.
No. I heard what you were. I picked up what you were laying down. I was just looking to see anything. All right.
All right. Well, one of the other big things for me with this movie is the soundtrack. You cannot talk about this movie without talking about the goddamn awesome soundtrack it had to just about every important scene and segment of this movie.
Yes, this soundtrack is perfect. There's a few movies that have perfect soundtracks. This is one. The Crow is one. Oh God, Gross Point Blank is another one. Like, just some soundtracks have just so much energy that they're part of the movie. Like, I mean, yes, they're part of the movie, but like they're another character unto themselves.
Right.
Obviously the Wall, but
well, you got Devo, you got Black Sabbath, you got Cheap Trick,
Stevie Nicks.
Yeah, like, it's so much fun. It gives the movie such a feeling iconicness to it. Like, we're doing something different out there that nobody else is doing and nobody's going to try to do again.
Yeah, and the Devo song, the Working in a Coal Mine song, because that's the one that made it onto the soundtrack, not the oh God, the one that actually shows them playing in the bar. I can't remember the title of the song, like Pretending to Be Cool or something like that.
Yeah.
But anyhow, I love that cover of Working in a Coal Mine. I like that song in general. Like, the Judds are fantastic, but that was why the song was written. Like, it was so fucking cool.
God, yeah. I want to say mine was probably Up in Arms by Journey. Blue Oyster Cult, Psychic War song.
That one was fun.
That was awesome. I'm a huge Blue Oyster Cult fan, so.
The You Must Be Dreaming song is fantastic. Love that one. Stevie Nicks' Blue Lamp is amazing. Such a pretty song. Sammy Hagar's Eponymous, Heavy Metal.
That was dope when that struck.
Yeah. Like, there's another song on here called Heavy Metal, and it's not as good.
I got the list now. Don Felder.
Is that who did the other one?
Yeah, Heavy Metal Taking a Ride by Don Felder.
That's right. And it's not bad. Oh, that's
Crazy by Nazareth, Prefabricated by Trust. You got Queen Bee by Grand Funk Railroad. Like,
that one.
Come on, everybody.
The Queen Bee song is fucking sick. If you sit and listen to that song, it is just sick.
That was in one of my favorite segments, was the So Beautiful and So Dangerous.
Yes.
The robot convinces Gloria to stay on board and have robot sex, albeit off screen. Meanwhile, Edsel and Zeke snort a huge amount of powder drug called Plutonian Nyborg before flying home, zoning out on the cosmos. Too intoxicated to fly straight. They weren't that straight to begin with. They crash land unharmed in a huge space station.
In a huge space station. And their huge ship is shaped like a happy face.
Yeah.
It's so stupid, but fun.
I actually got that image right here. Present, share screen, and
boom.
Huzzah, everybody.
Yes. I just love that image.
I like the uniqueness to everything. Like this. It's like you're not just doing the standard status quo. You're actually having fun with this movie. And be willing to bet everybody involved with this movie, from the artists doing the penciling and the coloring to all the voice actors, the director, it feels like they all had a good freaking time with this. And it's infectious. It makes the movie better, and it makes it feel like it has energy and a charm to it.
Yes, absolutely it does. I think it's one of those enduring charms that really gives it its cult status.
Yeah.
And this picture is just, it's exciting, it's funny, it's sad, it's scary. It's got everything. But better not bring your kids.
Yeah, this is not for little ones unless you're watching some TV edited version. 'Cause there's
Yeah.
swearing, there's nudity, there's violence and gore. Everything your mother hates about Dead Space 2.
Kinda, yeah. Like America is really funny on how we edit shit or what we find acceptable within the family household within certain ages or certain genders of children. Like, I have no control over my kids. My daughter's been watching the fucking remake of It for the last week and a half, and I'm just like, I'm trying to stop her. It's the scene where Beverly's like trying to clean the blood out of the bathroom.
Oh, yeah.
And Harley's like, "Look, Daddy, blood."
Get that girl a bottle of ketchup and let her scare everybody.
And I'm trying to tell her, "Hey, baby, don't watch that. Maybe watch the one from 91. If you want to watch it, that's one thing, but watch the old one for TV."
Yeah.
Okay, don't listen to Dad. Enjoy your nightmares. So proud of you.
That's my girl.
I'm not mad, Sugar Bear.
I'm telling you, no. Oh, yeah, mommy's out of here. Hey, good job, girl.
Kind of, yeah. She's
Dad.
got hair on her chest. Anyway.
Man, I don't know if there's even anything I got bad about this movie.
So I will skip ahead to the bad picture then.
Yeah.
Because
look, okay, you present this.
There's a little bit of arm fat there. I apologize.
Was this the one called Den or something like that?
Yes, but that's not Den. That's that's the Queen and the leader of the rebellion or whatever.
That's right. Yeah.
Another dictator unto himself. And Thulak, which I didn't catch that there was a name to it, which is supposed to be Cthulhu.
I actually wrote that down. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Ulatek,
yeah. But the Queen is this sadistic bitch. Actually, she's a lot like Aphrodite. Like, she tells Din, "Get me off and I'll let you live." Okay.
And then she's like, you didn't last as long as I would have liked. You're dead.
You're dead. And the other guy is, I don't know that he was gay. I wouldn't
John
say that.
Candy is Den. Holy oh god.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, that was one of the funniest parts. Was watching him look down and go, big. But this fucking cat fight here between these two was hysterical. No, it's mine. It's mine. Get away, you.
No,
bitch.
it's mine.
You bitch. Like I said, I think he was probably the first metrosexual.
I would not be shocked by that.
So, but the bad, there was a lot of songs that didn't make it onto the soundtrack.
Oh.
And there was a 16 year gap between this movie being released in the theaters and it hitting home video. And that was because of the licensing issue with all the music. They couldn't get all the licensing. So that's why it was such a big deal when it came out in 97. I didn't understand that. I knew nothing about licensing rights and how important physical media is now, because you could lose all the songs from the original movie that were supposed to be there. Shit, even with your video games, if you buy Metal Gear Solid 3 now online, like I did, it's not the original Metal Gear Solid 3. They lost the rights to a lot of the historical footage that they used for videos and the cutscenes. So they had to re-edit those and put them out. That's why the game was gone for about a year.
Oh, yeah.
Licensing. Anyway. That was the bad that I had in this movie. Otherwise, this movie gets a 6.6 from IMDb for their star rating out of 10. Golly, I think that's so low. I'm sure it's quite high for an animated feature, but I think that's very low for what this movie is. This movie deserved at least an 8.5, I think, from me.
Well, yeah. I mean, if we want to scroll on into judgment, the only thing I had bad was some of the fights were kind of lame. That's it.
Yes. Yeah. And that would go with the animation. Again,
Yeah.
we talked about this is not Japanese animation. This is American animation, and it was
Or even He-Man from like 17 years ago.
Yeah.
Just wasn't there for the kind of fights that we are all accustomed to now.
Yeah, this movie had a budget, but it had some really, really fantastic storytelling and some really great methods of animation that superseded its capabilities. Like, they did a great job.
Yep, fantastic ideas all around. And even if something didn't quite work, they found a way to eventually make it work. It's not like they gave up on an idea and pitched it and they're like, yeah, this segment doesn't work. No, they just were like, let's just keep it to 6 minutes instead of like an actual 10-minute segment. Okay, we move on to something else. Oh, we got more ideas for this segment. Hey, we're going to flesh that out. So they just kept adapting with what they were working with, and it came together very well.
Yeah. This is something I would have liked to have seen as an anthology. And I know I say that, but didn't go see the sequel. So I don't really want to see it as an anthology. But I would have liked to have seen something where you could have gotten more of these type of stories. And we would get something to that effect later in life with Liquid Television.
Yeah.
But golly, it wasn't the same. It's just, it didn't have that severity to it. It didn't have that rawness. It didn't have the pure love for storytelling that heavy metal had. And
yeah, like there's an energy to it. You can feel it the second the movie starts, like, oh, this is going to be interesting. It's more than just the visuals, more it's just the audio. It's more than everything else. It's everything all together, all at once.
Yes, like this movie celebrates art. Like every form of it, it celebrates art, and it puts the best ways to. It takes the best medium of art to display art, and it gives it to you. Like it gives you the music, it gives you the flashing lights, it gives you the animation, it gives you the storytelling. Like all of it is there in this perfect medium of this movie.
Yeah. What would you score this thing then? You were saying like an 8, but
I'm gonna go 8.5. 8.5. If it was Japanese animation and they had a bigger budget and there was more frames per second, things flowed a little bit better, then okay, sure. And also, if it didn't have as much editing as it required to get an American release, probably would have been better.
that's true. I mean, for its budget though, it did like 20 million at the box office, if I remember right.
Wow.
Its budget was 9.3, and at the box office it did 20.
That's cool.
So it, for back then in the 80s, shit, that's crazy. It actually like did that well. I mean, it's a cult classic.
Or I'm sorry, that's better than Snow White.
You mean, yeah. I say not Cinderella.
No, I like Cinderella.
Yeah, for me, this comes in at a good runtime, 90 minutes. It constantly keeps moving and never slows down too much. It's such a fun watch. I'm so glad I have this in my collection, and it's never going to leave. I'm going to go about 8.5 myself.
Nice. Very nice.
It's very up there. I highly recommend everybody at least try and check it out.
Yeah, there's
I think
no
I
frown.
saw it was on Pluto.
Ooh, cool.
Let me double check on that.
Tubi? I don't know. I may be thinking of last week.
And let's see here. Heavy Metal. 1981. Now let's see here. It is not available for free anywhere. I thought I saw that it was on Pluto.
It probably was, and then probably just changed, That happened last week when I was trying to watch a movie. I was like, what the hell?
All right.
In fact, I think it was Princess Mononoke.
Yep. That's what I was going to say. Although, if you do want to watch the Heavy Metal sequel, that's on the Roku channel free with ads. That's on Pluto free with ads. And it's free on Amazon Prime.
That's right. That's what I saw when I was scrolling past. I was like, well, shit. That was on one format. The original was on another, and I cannot remember where the original was streaming because it was streaming somewhere just this month, like last week even.
Yeah.
And I want to say Tubi, but I cannot be certain. Like you said, it could have been Pluto too.
I want to say I saw that it was on Pluto like even like 2 days ago. That might have just gotten pulled off.
I believe.
Because I thought about watching it that way, and I'm like, I'll just dig out the Blu-ray.
Yeah, I was thinking about that myself. Like, well, okay, well, I'm kind of got a latency issue here, watching it on Plex. Maybe if we stream it on, another one of the bigger streamers. No, not today.
Not today. But Kevin, any other final thoughts about heavy metal? Any of our chat out there got any thoughts about heavy metal?
Oh gosh, just that I love this movie. Every aspect of it is a pure joy, like you said, from the visuals to the music to the story. This is a feast. This is sugar for your senses.
Yeah, I just want to sit back, watch again, maybe have a couple drinks, and just chill too.
Yeah. Sit in the sunshine like I never do. I'm changing.
Well, you got to work on your tan, brother.
Yeah. No thanks. Us Irish kids, we don't tan. We just burn.
That's true. I mean, I got a little bit of a tan, but it's more of a burn. I actually put this shirt on, so I wanted to look at least somewhat decent for a movie review tonight, instead of like my normal sleeveless shirts, because you would see my sunburn.
My titties.
Forget it. Maybe on the Stargate show on Thursday, I'm going to be like, forget it.
Strip.
Be free. Well, on that note, hopefully everybody got a kick out of our heavy metal review on 0.Point Reviews here on the Suns and Shadows Network. Thank you all for joining us. Hit the like button on the way out. Also, do us a solid, hit the subscribe button down below and the little bell notification. Greatly appreciate it. We'd love to have you along. Going to be getting into some Sword and Sandals coming up on our movie reviews here in May. We got Arnold month, so we're starting it off with, let's see, Conan the Barbarian, Conan the Destroyer. Then we're going to be doing Predator, and if we still want to do End of Days, we could do that, or we could slip Red Sonja in there. What do you think, Kevin?
Well, I'd kind of like to slip into Red Sonja. I need to make sure I have access to that, though.
If you don't, I do.
Okay. Otherwise,
we can add Red Sonja to that then.
That'll fit the Swords and Sandals theme.
Yeah. Then we'll end the month with Predator. Or no, we got a date on that one with a guest, but I think we can move that.
Maybe. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Zach, that's you, buddy. If you're watching us, let us know.
But yeah, we'll figure that out, because I love the Swords and Sandals movies.
I do too.
Beastmaster will have to be one that we do sometime in the near future, because I've loved that since I was a kid, but I've just not watched it since like 1984.
What I remember is the sequel more than anything. Beastmaster Through Time. No, please don't do that.
All I know is Jim did that one. So I was like,
Okay, Ojo, I am not watching this on Tubi TV, but also Red Sonja. So I think that's a good solid vote. We'll get Red Sonja into the schedule here for Yeah, maybe we will make May Sword and Sandal Month, 80s style.
Yay!
Screw it, let's do it. So, thank you everybody again for tuning in. Greatly appreciate it. You all have a good night, everybody, and we will see you next time.
Some folks have a strange idea of entertainment.